Okay. Well, hello, Q&A number 75. Why don't you go ahead and start?
Kelly Heddles. Are the cats your pets, or do they just live in your garden? Glad you didn't have a fire and only burnt the rolls.
Yes, me too. Yeah, they're just stray cats that hang around. We had a cat for 25 years, no, 18 years, and a dog for 25. And then...
but they were outdoor.
Yeah, and these stray cats, they just hang around.
It's because she feeds the...
Well, I don't like mice around. So I'd rather have cats than mice.
Yeah.
Okay, Kay, good question though. Kay Nurse 19. Is this song on iTunes or anything? And it's called Pray For Me by my sister Judy. And this is such a perfect match for the day and the festivities. Yeah, my sister wrote that song. She wrote it for the veterans and my phone. And it's just a real beautiful song. Yeah, and I'm working on getting her to get those onto iTunes. She doesn't know how to do it, but beautiful song. Hey, Sherry Baby, you want to read that one?
Yeah. Thank you for explaining some things. I will keep watching for a vlog about it. Is it true about John Smith? He means Joseph Smith,
yeah.
Having 34 wives. Do modern day Mormons have multiple wives? No, polygamy was discontinued many years ago.
Yeah, if you do it now, you're excommunicated.
And I don't know the number of wives, but a lot of the families in Salt Lake are descendants, maybe 3 generations back. Like my great-great-grandfather was polygamous and had multiple wives, but it's so far back. But most of us here are from, we believe it was a commandment of God, like in the Old Testament, where they had plural marriage, but that was discontinued in the 1800s, quite a long time ago.
Yeah, and a lot of people think you have more than one wife, but we don't.
There are some break.
Joe can barely handle me.
There are some split-offs from our church that still practice plural marriage. But,
they're FLDS, and that's not us. People get them mixed up.
Yeah. So anyway, so we don't practice that.
Yeah.
And can you imagine having
all those
more
wives?
Than one wife?
That would be a lot of work. Build them each their own house. They're not going to get along together. And yes, Joseph Smith, I don't know how many he had, but he did have more than one wife.
Actually, my feeling is, I think because a lot of women have children, and they learn kind of a deep caring, nurturing and love. They learn that naturally. Whereas men, we love our kids.
Well, you're supposed to go out and kill the animals and bring the meat home. Yeah, and there were a lot of widows when the Mormons came across the plains. A lot of widows, and they needed to be taken care of. And that plural marriage helped with that too, but that wasn't the only reason. But
like the men went off and fought in the Mexican War and were killed off, and the persecutors, they killed Joseph Smith, that's his name. They assassinated him while he was in jail.
Yeah.
Put him in jail, and where was I going with that?
I don't know. Oh, it's hot in here. Okay. Okay, let's go with, hopefully that answered your questions. If you have any more questions on that, let us know. Okay, Bonnie Barber, what do you mean when you do work for those on the other side of the veil?
Okay, I'll explain. That's kind of a typical missionary question.
Yeah.
We believe that to make progress after this life, there's certain ordinances that have to be done by the people that have the authority. Baptism is one, getting the priesthood is one,
Holy Ghost
being
priesthood.
sealed together with the covenants and promises that we will.
And yeah, in our church, we call them dead, but they're just on the other side, just because you know, we just say they're on the other side of the veil. There is no death. You're just shed your body and you'll get put back together when Jesus comes back again, and we'll all be resurrected.
So the veil we mean as kind of
Yeah, we've forgotten.
A little door that you go through when you die, and all of a sudden your family that died before you, they're there to greet you.
Well, because we're here, we lived in heaven, and then we come down here and get a body, and then we go back. And so we're just here to be tested, and so the veil helped us made us forget what it was like in heaven, because we wouldn't want to come here if we saw how beautiful heaven was, and then it wouldn't be a true test if we could see. So we're here to be tested and to hopefully find a mate and see what it's like to be like Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. And so so we're just doing the work. We're doing the ordinances. And they don't have to accept the work if they don't care for it. But we do the work, and how are we going to know if they accept it or not?
Just a quick reference, and in the New Testament says everybody must be baptized before they can enter the kingdom of heaven. And so as part of our genealogy, we believe that even if somebody passed without being baptized, there are churches believe that, like if a baby dies, that they will not go to heaven after, that they go to a special place. I know that because my father and mother were of different religions. And where was I going to?
Well, a child that dies before the age 8 cannot sin. There is no sin for a child 8 and under, and so they go right to live with God. And other churches don't teach that. They think they go in limbo or something. But that's not true. And because babies don't sin.
They could be pretty mischievous.
Yeah. Okay, good question. Shalice Benjamin, I love what you shared from church. Is that fruit cup? What's the recipe? And yes, it is fruit cup, and I'm glad you liked what we shared about the church. And I will post the recipe in the icons right here.
Whoa. Okay, there are two homemade recipes that is the overwhelming favorite by the grandchildren and our own children. One is the fruit cup, and the other one is, we call it sketty.
Sketty.
Because that's what the little kids say. Grandma, make sketty, okay?
And the pancakes are getting kind of high up there. They ask for pancakes now. Okay, KSKC1234. I always love your Q&As, Rosanne. Love seeing the old pictures as well. Thank you. I was wondering, what did your dad do for a living? Was he a farmer, or did he have an outside job as well?
Both.
How old were they when they passed away, and do they always live close to you? And your mom was beautiful. In all the pictures, she had a smile on her face. I can't imagine raising that many kids and keeping my sanity. Same here. God bless her. Yeah, okay. Dad, he worked at Geneva Steel Plant, and he did farm too, but
how many acres
kids
did you guys plant, like tomatoes?
10 acres of tomato plants. And we lived on a 20-acre farm, and he retired from the steel plant when he's 55.
Rosanne was in charge of feeding 200 chickens.
Yeah, I was in charge of chickens.
We had a couple of chickens, and they were getting old enough to fly over a fence, so we had to clip their wings.
Clip their wings,
and
yeah.
A normal person would go.
I'll have to post
a normal person would go, clip the wings? Does it hurt them, or how do I pick them up?
I don't want them to fly out.
Rosanne just grabs them by the legs, holds them up, and
snips
the wings, and it's kind of like getting a haircut,
Yeah,
for people.
it's like cutting your fingernails. It doesn't hurt. And Mom was 84 and Dad was 85 when they passed. And yes, I don't know how my mom kept her sanity. And she didn't even have an indoor bathroom or indoor tub or washing machine. I don't know how she did it. But us kids, we loved it. We thought it was fun. We thought it was normal way to live. Thank you so much. Helen Gay. Oh, how many groups do you sing in, Rosanne? How fun that you can join in so many. Love listening. I got
kicked
back. Oh, she wanted to know how she finds my songs. How she can find my songs. I'm buying your music, by the way. Wonder if anyone else outside the USA has trouble downloading. If not, don't worry when I get to the state. Well, she's just wondering how to download the music, but she finally did in our last Q&A.
Is that the one?
We showed how to do it. Yeah. And she said she was able to download.
As a quick summary of that, iTunes is a website, but on the website they just want to sell Apple products. So on your computer or on your smartphone, You search.
Or your dumb phone.
No, dumb phones means you can't download programs.
Oh, okay. There really is a dumb phone.
Yeah, well, they don't call it that. But anyway, so you go to your app store, depending on if it's a Android or an iPhone.
Anyway.
And you look for the program to download apps.
And,
on an Android,
below I have
on the Android it's called Google Play, and then on an iPhone it's called
and on my did you forget?
Anyway,
just look for
everybody knows how to download apps on your phone because you do it, and your kids make you do it, and
you look for Pollyanna Million to One.
No, you look for the app.
Yeah, the app, and then Pollyanna.
The app iPhones, and then as soon as it opens, right up on the right hand side it says store. That means go to the store and buy some music. And then there's a search box there that you just put Pollyanna.
Pollyanna Million to One. Yeah, so that's what you want to look for.
That's the name of the album.
There's another Pollyanna group. They're from England. They're 4 boys that sing. So you don't want them.
There's lots of musicians that have similar names.
Yeah. But good question. Thank you so much. Flossie Red. Do you want to
I love the song at the end. Do you know what song? Oh, Daddy Can Fix It.
Daddy Can Fix It, yeah.
I need that song. And that's on your...
And the name of it is Daddy Can Fix It, and I wrote that song and I sing it. And it's just in honor of all those good dads out there. Daddy Can Fix It. And just go to where Joe said, go to iTunes, download the app, go to the store, Pollyanna Million to One, and you'll find Daddy Can Fix It. Thank you. Okay, Rosa Fagan, Momma O, could you please tell us why you run barefoot?
Well, just tell her how you got an injury.
Yeah, I got an injury, and I quit running for 3 years. And Davey, he said, you ought to get running again. And I said, oh, it just hurts. My whole body's crooked, you know, from... I got knocked down playing basketball.
Now I'll say a word. It's very common that if runners get injuries, by injuries we mean maybe something in the knee.
With shoes on.
With shoes on. In the knees, in the hip joint.
Because they do a heel strike. You hit the heel.
In the knee, in the hip, and the back. And it's basically because your shoes are wearing uneven and your spine gets a little bit crooked, and then you get a backache. So
it's because your shoes wear uneven.
With all of the many bones in your feet, walking barefoot forces you to correct your spine so it's straight up and down.
Because you don't heel strike when you're barefoot. Because it hurts. There's a bone there. You just don't. And so when you run, you step on the ball of your foot, and so that forces you to run correctly. And then slowly getting my hip better, and I started running again. I've been running barefoot for about 4 years.
No, but you don't have to be a runner. You can be a person that just has backaches. If you just walk.
Take your shoes off.
You don't have to worry about heel striking.
Because
you just go for a walk.
Your Achilles is supposed to be stretched, so with shoes on you don't stretch it, and it stays short, and then you walk crooked. And so, but I read the Barefoot Running book first, and I don't know, I just really enjoy running. And Debbie Riley, she wants to know why I run barefoot too, and why is it better. And it's just that heel strike. And Davey's the one that told me about it. She says, able to run a few years.
See, that's for runners, but even non-runners, it will help their back.
The best thing you can do is kick your shoes off and just go barefoot.
It's not just for runners, it's for people that can have permanent backaches, and maybe they've walked slightly crooked for a lot of years.
Just look at your shoes.
And it gradually forces you to
just look at the bottom of your shoes and see how they wear. Some wear that way, and some wear where you tip inside, and that puts your back all out of kilter, and so it just really... Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Yeah, I'll tell you one more thing. It's common for old runners to start getting injuries as they get older, and a lot of really good runners will get an injury in their back or something, and they start barefoot running just to cure the injuries that they've got.
Yeah. So that's, I know, when Davey told me about barefoot running, I thought it was crazy. I thought, oh my goodness. No. And remember, through the ages of time, we didn't always have shoes. And when they first invented shoes, they didn't have a left or a right. Your foot eventually made it go that way, and then they started making the shoe.
And in the caveman days, only the fast runners didn't get eaten by animals.
Yeah, so if you say you're not a runner, say, yeah, let's put a bear behind you. Suddenly you're a runner. Oh, let's see. Let's do one more. Esperanza's body, 40 pair. She's talking about the jammies that I'm making, and I got those done, by the way. We'll have that picture Sunday. That rhymes.
I've renamed her Super Momma O just because 40 pair of jammies.
Well, if I didn't have an industrial sewing machine, I wouldn't even attempt it. Other sewing machines are so slow. I mean, it takes me like 15 minutes to do one pair, so I can get them done.
Those jammies are for our jammies picture that we do once a year. So yeah. So how many do we have? We've been doing
40.
It? No, but how many years have we been doing?
Oh, this will be year number 12. Year number 12. So says, oh my, that's a lot of work. I'm curious how much money you actually save. That's a good question. Probably when you're factoring in the fabric and how many hours it takes, although the PJs at Walmart aren't made with love. That's true. Bless your heart. Yeah, if I spent probably $200 on material and elastics probably $30, and then the time, I don't know how you factor the time in. I guess you can chalk that up with love, but it costs probably $10 a pair of jammies, so that'd be about $400, and where if I make them it's about $200. So I do save half, and then just have to put the work in.
See, it's one of those things I don't fight.
Because it would cost you more.
No, it's part of our tradition. No.
Yeah, and if I were to go out and buy them, well, what I could do is tell Papa O, say, I saved you $200. Can I have that money that I saved? He goes, that's not how it works.
He said, can I spend that money
I just saved? But I got them done. It's such a nice relief, and I won't have to do them at Christmas time because we're getting them done now because my son's coming into town. All right, let's end with a couple of quotes. Your head's smaller than mine. When you look how little the head goes when you lean back.
Oh, see, this one, the chair goes farther back. Whoa!
I know, look how little your head is. Put your head up a little bit more. There you go. Make our heads even. That's too big. So it's going to scare them. Okay, here's a quote. Good things come to people who wait, but better things come to those who get out there and get them.
I like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Then you find one that you like.
Oh, I love this one. This is a proverb. What's a proverb?
I don't know. It's out of the scriptures, I guess.
Just when the caterpillar thought his world was ending, he turned into a butterfly.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that
I like
beautiful?
that. So remember that. If you think your world's ending, just wait for the beauty to shine through. And that's what we're here
wait for the change in you that might have to take place.
Your head went little again.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for. We're here to learn, to be tested, to see how we do with what God's given us, our gifts, our talents, where we've been placed on the earth, and just what we do with our time, what we do with it. And thank you, and make sure you ring that bell and do a like and a comment, and thank you.
And I have a saying.
Okay, let's hear your saying.
Okay, it's probably related to a lot of other ones. Okay, another way to find happiness is take your mind off yourself and quit looking for it, and try to make other people happy.
Don't look inward, look outward.
As soon as you look at other people you care about and work on trying to make them happy, you become happy.
And don't compare yourself so much. Say, oh, well, look how rich he is, look how pretty she is, look how cute their kids are, look at this. And as soon as you start doing that, pretty soon you're depressed. And if you're going to compare yourself to somebody worse off than you, and then you'll be so grateful for what you have. And as long as you're going to play the compare game.
You got to be careful with that one.
Okay.
Because the Pharisee says, I'm glad I'm not like him.
No, you don't want, be careful not to do that either. But just remember that grow where you're planted. Where are you now? What can you do with what you've got? And just make your life as good as you can with what you got. And make sure you have your gratitude, and tell God thanks. don't complain so much, because God probably gets tired of that.
Helen Keller is a good example of that. But expect a person like that to get depressed.
Yeah.
Say, why did God do this to me?
But don't get mad at God. He's your daddy, and He loves you. He knows your name. He knows what's going on. And just like a baby is learning how to walk, He's going to help you to learn how to walk. He will pick you up sometimes, but He won't carry you for long. Thank you, and good night, everybody. We forgot to give a kiss. And these are the kids. Joe would keep the pictures. Make sure you go to CVX Live if you can. If you live here in Salt Lake City, and I'll be there helping Davey with the kids, and Jimmy Joe will be there doing his science one, and Davey and April will be there, and so it'll be a lot of fun.
My hands were filled with dirt when I was a little girl. Turned on the water spout, nothing didn't come out. Mama quickly walked in, looked at her and I grinned. I said, don't worry, Mom, 'cause Daddy can fix it. Daddy, you can do anything, you're the king. You can fly, you can swing me away up high. You can conquer the world with your smile.